This episode of The Guy Pod is brought to you by the shops at Coldwater and Citadel Insurance Group, an Allstate agency. Citadel can take care of all of your insurance needs, from auto and homeowners to boats and life insurance and everything in between. Call 256-826-5309 to speak to one of our trusted advisors to see if Citadel can get you in a better place on your insurance. Citadel Insurance Group is open Monday through Friday from 8 to 6. The Shops at Coldwater, one of a handful of retail incubators in Alabama, is the home to a highly curated gift shop and boutique located in beautiful, historic downtown Tuscumbia, Alabama. They specialize in gifts for everyone in the family, on-trend clothing for women and kids, and have a unique mix of snacks, including glass bottle Sundrop and Frios gourmet pops. Stop in at 109 East 6th Street in Tuscumbia and see what everyone's talking about. The Shops at Coldwater are open Tuesday through Saturday, 10-ish to 6-ish, and Sundays and Mondays when they feel like it. And now, here are your hosts of The Guy Pod, Josh Kelly, Skip Nichols, and Adam Gooch.
And welcome to The Guy Pod. I'm Skip Nichols.
Josh Kelly.
Adam Gooch.
What's up, everybody?
Man,
What's
we are
up?
back.
How y'all doing?
Fantastic.
It's been like 4 weeks.
It has.
God, sorry, everyone. We've been busy
It happens.
sometimes. But,
Life.
we probably should keep a better schedule, but this is a hobby.
It is.
And according to Skip's permit that he has, and he keeps in. So, first of all, Skip, anytime somebody says something, Skip says, it's okay, I have a permit. And when they ask to see it, he has this little card in his wallet, and he pulls it out. It says, I do what I want.
True story.
Like he really does.
In the past 2 weeks, I've shown it to the police and the building inspector and the mayor.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Oh, man. I saw we had Mayor Underwood on the podcast a few weeks ago, and I was just at an event with him. It was a art gallery opening.
I saw that you guys were doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to stick our fingers
We
in it.
did.
Yeah.
I will say that it was really neat because I've never been to an art gallery opening. And we sponsored it. Our insurance agency sponsored it. And I felt a little out of place. And I felt like I was supposed to whisper the whole time.
Yeah.
But you didn't whisper the whole
No, I didn't. I didn't. And we didn't get thrown out. But I almost got in a fight. Kind of
did.
I said something inappropriate, but I didn't know it was inappropriate. And it wouldn't have been inappropriate if it hadn't have been who I was standing beside when I said it. We'll just leave it at that.
He told the joke at the wrong time.
I told the joke at the wrong time.
Interjected humor in the wrong
Spot.
Wrong
And
spot.
They didn't think it was funny. And Skip, when I know Skip didn't laugh and gave me this look, I was like, oh, no.
It was pretty epic. I almost let him just roll under the bus.
I was like,
Yeah.
they're related, aren't they? But anyways, a good friend of ours, she's the curator there, and I laugh at her all the time because she uses these big words. And I'm like, listen, dumb it down for the rest of us.
Right.
I call them $100 words.
Yep.
And some people use those, but it got me thinking about a friend of mine, this guy I used to work with. I'm not going to say his name. But he would use these big words in the wrong places, and they would be pretty close to the actual word, but just enough. Both of them were still big words,
Right.
But it was just enough off that it was like not even close, but you still knew what he was trying to say.
Just enough to make him look more photosynthesis.
That's it. That's exactly how we do it. So my favorite of all time, I want to tell you all a couple of stories about this. So my favorite of all time was he was telling us about his time he was getting this tattoo. And so I'm going to do it in his voice.
Okay.
As best I can.
Good luck with that.
And you just think about what this person looks like to you. Okay? So here he was telling us this story. So the story was about a time where he was getting a tattoo somewhere, and there was a big curtain.
Somewhere location.
Yeah,
Not-
a location.
Okay.
Yeah, not on a body. Like he was at this physical location. There was a large curtain in between him and the person next to him in the booth or whatever it is in this building. And it was a lady, and she was getting something pierced. He was getting a tattoo. So, Josh, I was laying there getting a tat, and the only thing between me and her was this big gazebo, and I couldn't believe it because she was getting her uterus pierced.
Right there in front of everybody. Huh?
So first of all, I'm like, and there was so much going on in this. And he said, first of all, I'm like, a gazebo? I was like, oh, he means a curtain. I was like, that's not even close. Okay, all right. And then I'm like, wait, You can't get your uterus pierced. I mean, I guess you could.
You can.
Wow.
That's a whole other episode.
I mean, like, but he said she was getting her uterus pierced. I was like, man, it was so funny. So, but it was like, I probably should have wrote all these down. I wish I'd have created a Twitter account when I worked with him.
Yeah.
Because, like, it would have been amazing. But it was just so fantastic. So he called jujitsu gym jitsu.
That's awesome.
And so we never corrected him either.
Right.
Oh, even
Ever.
better.
Never corrected him. One time we were at Pizza Hut, and he asked the lady behind the counter, "Can I get some extra of that Pomeranian cheese?" She
You
said,
have to milk the small dog.
"The milk dog." Oh, that's gross. Pomeranian cheese, like Pomeranian milk, little puppy. One day he called this piece of wood that was on the wall. He called it. He said, "That piece of wood's illiterate," and nobody knew what it meant. So I guess he meant it wasn't any good. But he called the wood illiterate.
I'm pretty sure the wood couldn't read.
So I don't know what that meant, other than we laughed so hard we never understood what. We never got more details about what that was talking about. And whenever he was talking about something he knew better about, he'd say, "Now listen, you can't hold me reliable for that." Like, I mean, what are you trying to say, buddy?
I don't know what's funnier, the voice you're doing or the words you're saying.
It reminds me of the Mr. Hanky from South Park.
Mr. Hanky Poo,
Yeah.
Heidi,
Hey, boys, don't forget to towel. One day he was talking about it being hot outside, and he said that he was precipitating.
That's
He
awesome.
said, "It's so hot, it can't be precipitating out here." And then I could tell stories all day, but I'm gonna stop with this. And the spot in between the roads, with the opposite lanes, right? One's going north, one's going south. There's a patch of grass in between.
Right.
Well, that's the medium.
Of course it is.
That's the medium. He was sitting there in the medium, broke down. But anyways, hey, listen, if you're listening to this right now, if you've heard some funny, I don't know what you call this, big words that were used in the wrong place, tag us. Use the hashtag TGP for the Guy Pod, TGP big words.
Yep.
And tag the Guy Pod in it, because we want to hear funnier ones, because I'm sure that I'm not the only one that has heard big words used in the wrong spot. So tag us in that. I think that'll be super funny. Share us, even if you've said something like that, or misspoke something like. Because actually, I'm fixing to probably create my own here in a minute.
Yep.
Because I thought it'd be fun to play a game. Can we play a game?
I love playing games.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, so I just made this up.
Okay.
So,
Like most things.
yeah, I have a T-shirt that says I make things up, but I found out a long time ago it doesn't really matter if you know what you're talking about, as long as you sound like you know what you're talking about.
Say it with confidence.
You know
If
what I
you
mean?
own it,
Yeah.
people just go along.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got a list of some very obscure and underused words from the English language. And I thought it'd be fun to play a little game with Skip and Gooch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you a word, and I'll give you the definition as well, and then y'all have to make a sentence with it, okay?
Okay.
You at home, you listening, you keep score, and you can let us know who you think wins.
Yeah, and this is like whose line.
Yeah.
The points don't matter.
Skip and Gooch. It's Skip versus Gooch. Gooch versus Skip. The funnier the better, guys. And you guys at home keep score. Let us know who you think won the match.
Now, are we supposed to use it the correct way or the wrong way?
Correct way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
As correct as you possibly can.
That's correct.
So, also, too, when I went through and printed all these off, I did not print off the pronunciations of these words.
That's awesome.
So this could get fun.
So we're going to have no idea what you're saying at some point.
Well, I mean, y'all probably correct me, because Skip's got like 6 degrees. And,
That's what I was going to say. I don't know that this game's very fair.
and
I think we're unevenly matched.
yeah, but you're a nerd, though.
We're unequally yoked.
Yeah, we are.
I think it is fair because you're a nerd, and
That's true.
You're into English and writing
It's all
and
good. And I'm
stuff.
from Franklin County.
Yeah, Skip's from Russellville. Well, Gooch is from Green Hill.
We
so.
make some of them words up as we go along.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying down here?
The Russellville's is balanced out
In the Green Hill.
and gone because of the Green Hill part.
Yeah.
So, all right. So the first thing we're going to start off with, and these are in alphabetical order because that's the way I found them. The first
Google.
the first 13 letters. There's way more of each letter than it is the last 13 letters.
Because as with most things, Josh gets distracted.
This is going to be awesome. This is so much fun. Okay, I'm kind of over it.
Yeah, squirrel. So
Let me go build something.
abominable.
Abominable.
Abominable. It means loathsome, detestable. Abominable.
Abominable.
Gooch to serve.
Some of the conversations at the Democratic presidential debate this week have been abominable.
Agreed.
Right out of the gate.
God. Got him. All right, Skip.
All right, abominable. Dealing with any of my ex-wives is abominable.
Nice, nice.
Okay, point for
Hot
Skip.
in here?
All right. Arcadian. That's a fun word to say. Everybody say that. Arcadian.
Arcadian.
Every time I hear that word, which is only once,
Yeah.
I think back to 300 when he's Arcadian.
Arcadians.
So when 300 came out, I went to the movie theaters and watched it like 7 or 8 times.
Mm-hmm.
And my little brother-in-law was living with us at the time. Me and him drank out of bowls for like 2 weeks. And like I cut my hand at work and like I cauterized it instead of like putting a Band-Aid on.
Of course you
Yeah.
did.
It was awesome. I never liked it enough to work out to try to look like them.
Right.
But so anyways, Arcadian, pastoral, rural, in a peaceful, natural setting.
You see, I would have thought it would have meant the people that worked at Aladdin's Castle in the mall.
It could have been
Yeah.
that.
Arcadians. Like
Arcadian. Yeah, no, it's like rural, like
arcade employees.
pastoral land. Skip, you go next.
Land.
Oh, my goodness.
This is a tough one.
So seeing the cattle
Hmm.
in the field is very Arcadian.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. That's a hard one.
It is.
Man. Growing up, me and my friends were very good at finding Arcadian locations to drink adult beverages underage.
Okay.
Well, there you go. So
Okay.
juvenile beverages.
Juvenile.
Juvenile
yes.
beverages. Like it.
Arcadian
All right.
locations.
That's a weird word.
It is. All right, here's one. Bacchanalian. Bacchanalian. Bacchanalian.
Bacchanalian, I think.
Bacchanalian. Bacchanalian. Relating to drunkenness and mad revelry from Bacchus, the Greek god of wine. You might could use the last 2 words together, Gooch. But
Yeah.
Bacchanalian,
Bacchanalian.
relating to drunkenness and mad revelry.
In your Arcadian setting.
Yeah. Yeah. I've
So
been Bacchanalian in my Arcadian setting many times.
As have I. I've been Bacchanalian in my collegiate setting a few times.
that's an underused word.
That's an awesome word.
Like if I'd known that back when I was at UNA,
Bacchanalian.
I'd have probably made a T-shirt with that.
If I'd have known that the last time I played Scrabble,
Bacchanalian.
You got a sentence for us, Skip?
no, I don't.
It sounds like you're doing inappropriate things to aliens.
It does.
I'm Bacchanalian.
I'm gonna Bach that alien. Come here,
I'm
big
on
boy.
Bach him. I'm on Bach him.
I think that's Klingon.
Is that like?
I don't think that's English.
Is that like? Hand me some of that backer.
Yeah. I'm on Bacchanalian.
Barker.
That's when you and Chewbacca are chewing Baka. That was uncalled for.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Balderdash means nonsense.
Balderdash.
Balderdash.
Yeah, you remember that board game?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't.
Yeah, it's.
I do remember
Is it called Balderdash?
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
all about nonsensical phrases.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think I like that.
Balderdash.
Skip's face is Balderdash. Did I use that right?
Josh's tennis game is balderdash.
That's a fact.
Nah.
We went and played tennis last week
Yep.
for the first time in like 9 years.
29 years.
And like Skip and I couldn't walk for like the next 3 days.
I had to go get a massage 2 days later.
He's not lying.
I had to go buy new shoes because there's no way I can do this in those same shoes. Pro tip: don't wear running shoes to play tennis.
Right.
Well, it was fun.
You need
though.
more support.
You do.
Around
fun.
I've got that fixed.
Yeah.
Thanks to our good friends at the store that will not be named because they didn't pay us.
That's I was going to say, no free advertisement. Sorry, guys.
So here's a fun word: bamboozle. It means to cheat or steal. Bamboozle.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I've heard that one a lot. You hear that one a lot in,
Been
in
bamboozled.
Franklin County.
Yeah.
Give us a sentence.
So he got bamboozled out of his inheritance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a good one. You know, here's a challenge to you. If you're listening to this, use some of these words and then let us know when you used them and let us know what the person's reaction was.
For sure.
Because like when you use big words like this and you use it right, like it's pretty funny because it throws people off guard.
Yes, it
And if you're in the lower 13 southeastern states, there's a good chance 60% of the people you talk to will not know what it means.
I'll buy that.
Yeah. The fun part is do they actually admit that they don't know what it means, or do they just keep rolling?
I found a thing in the South. It was a lot of fun. So I used to be in the garage door business a long time ago, and I would go check on the job sites and stuff. And I've learned that rednecks, they'll respond to anything.
So you made up park names.
Oh yes, like we would just say stuff like, "What about it, buckskin?" Just to see that. Oh, not much. And so we started calling rednecks buckskins just because we thought it was funny, and it was our word for. It's like we were calling them a redneck,
But they didn't know.
but they didn't know it,
Yeah.
and then we just shortened it to skin. So now if I call somebody a skin, that means they're a redneck. And me and my friend Tommy are the only two people that know these words.
And now we have this knowledge and have no idea what to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, so we called them buckskins.
Buckskins.
What about a buckskin? Oh, not much. They don't.
And
They'll respond to anything.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You could literally say anything.
Yeah, they think it's a term of endearment.
Absolutely.
Yeah, buckskin.
You could say, anything. Anything. What about it tenfold? Oh, not much. Literally, you can say anything to them. So anyways, boondoggle.
A boondoggle.
Work or activity that is wasteful or pointless but gives the appearance of having value.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff I do with you every day.
That conference call was a massive boondoggle.
Yeah, we had a few of those this week.
Jeez.
Most
Don't
of
you
the
love
time.
conference calls that could have been an
No.
email?
Or a text message.
Yeah,
Forget an email.
yeah. Worse than that, like meetings,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
where you have to actually get everybody in the same room
Yeah.
to completely waste 2
Yeah.
hours.
Which it brings
Boondoggle.
me back something this week I had to deal with. I had to deal with having to fax something to somebody.
What?
It's 2019.
They still do that?
And I had a conversation with this lady, and she was like, I'm gonna need you to fax that to me because it can't be emailed. And it can be emailed a whole lot easier than it can be faxed. And she's like, no, we got to fax, got to have it faxed. And I'm like, lady, it's 2019. I don't have a fax machine in any of my offices.
Right?
I said, I'd be glad to email this to you. She said, no, it's got to be faxed. So what did I do? I used our e-fax service, which basically just emailed it to her.
But it said
And-
fax.
and, yeah.
So-
So just the fax, ma'am.
Yeah.
Could
fax.
you
That
email
was a
her?
boondoggle.
Hey, here's a big word, facsimile.
Facsimile thereof. That's where it comes
Facsimile.
from.
Yeah.
That's
I wonder
the
where
word-
they like facsimile is spelled FACS, right? So that's the fax, facsimile.
Yes.
How lazy is it that we can't just do FACS as a fax? Like, just take the Emily off the end.
Yeah.
Why you got to go X?
What the facts?
What the,
What the facts? Next word, brouhaha, uproar, hubbub, brouhaha.
brouhaha.
I love your explanation of this in the notes, by the way.
Do you?
Yeah.
Thanks. Here's great. I wrote a sentence on this one. Nick Saban caused quite a brouhaha on the sidelines after that call.
Ah, it's coming.
Football, guys, can I
is so
say how
close.
excited I am?
4 weeks, 3 weeks?
Like, there was football on Thursday night.
For sure.
It wasn't great football, but it was
Yeah.
football.
Football.
I watched live football on TV.
Yeah.
Like, the part between no football and then football, it's cool because it's the summertime, and I like summertime, but, like,
It's filled with things like hockey and basketball and baseball.
they never stopped playing baseball.
No, I think they play year round.
When did they stop playing baseball? Major League Baseball?
Like October,
October.
Till when? Till, like,
February.
November? Like I get
Close.
That spring, they play in Florida starting in February, right?
Yeah, I think so.
they're only out like 3 months.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, they never quit playing.
No.
I like watching a little baseball, but I don't like watching it all year long.
No, I can't. I don't know if it's my attention span or what, but I cannot watch an entire game of baseball now. I'll grab the highlights.
Yeah.
Show me the highlights. Show me what everything I need to know in the 4-hour game in 2 minutes, and I'm in.
It's like people that watch golf on TV.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez, I can't do it. Then there's people that are nuts, and people that'll go stand and watch people play golf matches.
No.
See, I'm all in. I would.
No.
That's so
I'm all
boring
in.
to me.
Yeah.
So boring.
I'm all in.
Be like, hey y'all, he hit the ball. Let's walk.
Right.
No, you just stand there till they.
Yeah, I mean, they
You
got
don't
to
even
come
watch-
to you.
no.
You don't follow them.
No, you stand at the.
Oh,
you
see,
stand
that's
at
how
the
little
hole.
I know about
Yeah.
watching golf.
Yeah, no, you
So
stand
you
there.
just stand there and
You stand
people
there at the
walk
hole.
past you and
Yeah,
play.
you pick your location, and then like you know,
You're there
like you
all
can
day.
try to
It's just
follow
like a
them.
parade.
Kind of.
Yeah,
Do
kind
they
of.
throw candy?
Like you have the ability to follow them, but like people camp out at the different locations of so by the time you got there, you're going to be 20 rows deep and not seeing anything. So,
Man, and they're like the Masters, they pay thousands of dollars to go stand there and see that.
Oh, yeah.
Thousands.
Yeah, and don't try to sell those on eBay.
Yeah, no, I got a friend of mine she did sell her tickets on eBay, and now she can't buy any more tickets.
You have to go in the lottery to even have the opportunity
Yeah.
to purchase.
Yeah.
Hey, they can't have that in Alabama. Quit talking about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, another thing.
That's balderdash.
So like,
That is
balderdash. You know, I lost my whole train of thought. Oh, like a sport that I hate watching on TV, but it's fun, like hockey. No thanks watching it on TV, but hockey games live.
I watch it live all day
man.
long. I am in.
Live hockey games are amazing.
I'm in.
There's so much fun. You can
Yeah.
fight, and then occasionally they throw a fish on the ice. I don't know what that's about, but I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I love hockey.
So let's talk about this word, bumbershoot.
Oh,
Bumbershoot.
I actually knew that one.
It's an umbrella.
Bumbershoot.
Bumbershoot.
You have to say that with an English accent.
Bumbershoot.
Hey, did you see that meme I posted on the Guy Pod page this week about propaganda?
No, tell us about it.
Said nobody knows what the word means, and says it's when an English gentleman
Oh, yeah. He's propaganda.
looks intently at something.
I did
It's
see
a
that.
propaganda. Gives it a propaganda.
Pardon me, mate.
We're
What a
going to stop
propaganda.
it there. Cantankerous. Cranky.
That was my grandmother.
Disagreeable to deal with. Stubborn. Contentious. Surly. I'm thinking that describes one of the guys from the Guy Pod pretty good.
Hey, I was really nice to the pizza guy.
Rhymes
So-
with rip.
So Skip
Let me interject here that I am almost in 1 month and 6 days I will be get off my lawn years old. So go ahead.
Skip's about to be 50, and for the record, that week leading up to that,
I'll be on vacation.
I'm going to make his life a living hell. It's going to be like I've got so many fun activities planned.
Well, we had plenty of room for activities.
So that's happening. But Skip is very cantankerous.
Yeah.
He is. Like it's like little bitty things set him off. Like the other day, we had to load some software on his computer, and all it did is delete his saved passwords. He's sitting there,
All 400 of them.
he sat in there for 45 minutes cussing the computer. I think it would be done. Then he'd start back up again. It was awesome.
I mean, like, in first world, I'm like, that's a big deal.
That is
bro.
a true
that is a big-
devastating first world problem.
That's a
Here's the
big
thing,
problem.
dude, like me, all my passwords are the same.
Yeah, but you always run into the sites that are like, you got to have one more letter.
And then
or
you
you
gotta
have to have a special character.
Yeah, and you got to have a hieroglyph and an
Yeah.
emoji.
Yeah, there's always the.
And it can't be part of your name or anybody else's name or a color or an
Speaking of
exclamation point.
hieroglyphs, you know,
That's a good word, by the way.
it is a good word.
Hieroglyph.
You know, everybody takes all this time in studying the ancient Egyptians and all of these people and stuff, and they're like, so like at this art gallery, there was a big rock in there where there was a snake carved on it and feet carved on it, and they were like trying to explain what it means. You know what? Here's the thing. 14-year-old Josh, let's just be honest, 36-year-old Josh finds a can of spray paint underneath a bridge. You know what I'm painting on that bridge? You can guess. It's the same thing I would have painted when I was 14. I don't know why I'm painting that, but that's what I'm painting. And if you don't know what I'm painting, that means that you're not a dude. But, like, I don't have reasons for doing things sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to draw lightning bolts.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
Sometimes you paint the snake.
Sometimes you paint a snake. Sometimes, you know what? I think there was a guy sitting there back in the 1200 whatever, and he's sitting down there cross-legged, and he looks down and sees his feet, says, and he decides to carve his feet in the thing.
Yeah.
I really think that's what happened. I think we overthink things sometimes.
I think it's just, bored guy doodling.
It doesn't have to mean anything. I don't know. If you don't agree with that, you know what? I don't care because I can't hear you because you don't have a microphone.
If you don't agree with that, you're just a charlatan.
You're a charlatan. I'm not.
Charlatan.
So, charlatan, what a great word.
Yeah.
Quack, imposter, charlatan. I'm going to use charlatan twice this week. That's my goal.
Charlatan.
I'm calling
I
somebody
want
a
to be there when
charlatan.
it happens.
I'm calling somebody a charlatan.
You are a charlatan.
Charlatan. You just
So we got off this game really quick. but
use
I like
charlatan.
where it's going.
Use
Yeah.
charlatan in a word, Gooch.
Charlatan. Word.
There's a-
Someone is has to be referencing a person. So someone.
This is really funny to me
Um,
because like I've literally got a sentence written down on the notes here that he could just read. And
I
he's over here
could,
struggling.
but no, I'm
He struggle
reading
Bloftoniing.
I'm reading his sentence, and I'm like, nah.
It's kind of a weak sentence.
You don't like my sentences?
I
This
don't.
guy
I don't
said,
like your sentence.
if I rub this cream on my face, it will remove the wrinkles. But I think he's a charlatan.
Do you
That's a
rub
good sentence.
You rub cream on your face?
Yeah, he does.
Actually, I do.
Do you?
Yeah. I use this Duke Cannon
Yeah.
Face cream.
best. I can't say the word, so we can keep our PG rating. Face wash, beard wash, and Duke Cannon products are amazing.
They are.
We sell them at
So
the
will
shops at
it- will it
coldwater.com.
Remove my wrinkles?
Yeah, go to shops at coldwater.com. You can buy it.
Yeah.
We will throw that in there.
Yeah, we own that place.
And we're not charlatans. We really do.
No, we really do own it.
So I think when I think charlatan, I think about the kind of like the snake oil salesman, but I also think about the guy that's I don't know why for some reason like bogus religious leaders.
Right. Yeah. Oh, everybody.
Kind of what I think of when I think of the word charlatan.
Yeah.
Scientology. Can I say that?
Well, you just did.
You did.
So,
Can I say that? Are people mad?
Yeah.
I'm not mad.
No, I'm out.
Are you mad?
Tom Cruise made jump on a couch.
God, Tom Cruise. He's a wacko.
Yeah.
So how about we found out that when we were talking about in the podcast a few weeks ago about different people and blah, 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 two things I found out. That Tom Cruise was like an all-state wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Like, was really good. And that this one blew my mind. Drew Carey was a Marine.
Yes,
Yeah.
not a charlatan.
Not a charlatan.
No.
So heavy
Who's the real
set,
deal?
heavy set Drew, lightweight Drew could probably still kill us with his pinky.
Yes.
I didn't know he was a Marine.
Yeah.
Drew Carey, I'm sorry. If you're listening to this, Drew, which I'm sure, why would Drew Carey not listen to the Guy Pod?
For sure.
Sorry about the shade, bro. I
Which
didn't know
makes
it.
you think, like, how many more people are out there that you look at and you're like, I got him. Like, mouth off to me one more time.
I was in the Army 8 years.
and then the next thing you know, they're special forces. And
yeah. I wasn't special
And you're
forces.
not.
yeah, and you're not.
But I know things.
Yeah.
I ate
I was
bacon
in-
and I know things.
I was in the infantry.
Yeah.
Not special forces, very far from it, but
You marched a lot, didn't you?
we did. That's about it. we went places like we was like, hurry up and wait. Like everybody get ready, hurry. Then we'd march there and we would just sit there and wait for a long time. It's about all we did. Here's one, just like this podcast, Codswallop.
Codswallop.
Means nonsense.
I cannot tell you how happy I am I don't have another beverage to drink right now because I'd have spit that everywhere.
Codswallop.
Codswallop. You know what? I kind of know why this one's underused.
I definitely know.
But
why
I
this
put it
is-
in there because
yeah.
it was fun to say.
Codswallop.
Put it in there because it was fun to say.
I think it borderlines on getting us out of the PG rating.
Between the words that mean nonsense, I'm definitely going balderdash over.
Yeah,
Codswallop.
I'm not throwing a Codswallop out there anytime soon.
So you're talking about that's Codswallop. Excuse me, boy.
Right. What'd you say?
Confabulate.
Confabulate.
Engage in conversation. Talk. So right now we're confabulating.
Apparently we are, and I don't know. I think you made that one up.
Confabulation. Confabulate.
Wasn't that a '70s song?
Confabulate.
Confabulation.
Confabulate.
No.
Is that how you say it?
Sure.
Hey,
Confabulate.
right or wrong, you just pictured me doing the hand down
The
to my
BG Staying Alive.
the staying alive thing, like John, not John Lennon,
John Hurt.
John McCain.
Definitely not him.
John-
either.
The Bee Gees.
No,
John
what's-
Travolta.
John Travolta.
Yeah.
That's his name.
Speaking of Scientology,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a Scientologist.
I think he left though. I
may
think he
have.
quit.
Yeah, he did. So, they had like maybe a death in the family.
His
because
son,
he
I believe.
couldn't take medicine or something.
Yeah, I believe it was his son, and it didn't go well.
So speaking of taking medicine, so I'm in a lot of groups on Facebook because I like trolling people. I'm in a flat Earth group, and I love starting things in there and that.
Right.
Which they have members all around the globe.
All around the globe. And so I'm in the Flat Earth group. That's currently my most fun group that I'm in. But there for a while, I was in an anti-vaxxer group. And so...
You're going to get an email on this one if you keep going.
I'm sure I am.
So you keep going.
I don't care. So
You're going to start a brouhaha.
so the...
You're headed down Old Town Road, by the way.
So all of that was started by this guy that's not even a doctor anymore, and none of it was true.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it at that. There's no other scientific anything to back up not vaccinating your kids.
Right.
But whatever, it's your kids. Do what you want to. So I'm in this group, and I'll slide things in there every now and again just to get things started because it's fun.
On both sides of the argument?
Yeah, like if I'm sitting there on the toilet,
Right.
you know, because it takes at least 45 minutes.
Right.
We sit there for a while because in my house, it's the only quiet place there is because I live with 4 women, not my wife and 3 daughters. I don't have,
It's like,
I
moved in.
don't have
Yeah.
sister wives, but so they were talking about this was in the Northeast. Several kids died because of the measles and stuff, which I'm definitely not making fun of that at all. That's horrible. But they were talking about in the group, what can I give my kids to keep them from getting the measles? And they were talking about all this stuff, and I'm like, literally, there's a thing for that, you know, like
There's an app for that.
no, I mean, like, you know, what can I give my kids so they don't die? I was like, well, I mean, you know, there's medicine, you know, you don't have to call it vaccination, but I know something, guys.
Yeah.
So I commented on it and got kicked out. So
So you discombobulated the group.
I did, but I was not being dastardly.
It's awesome.
Was not being dastardly.
Right.
So I found, dastardly was like it's a cool word. It means cowardly, meanly based, sneaking. I found a really cool quote that used the word dastardly.
Okay.
Which one should you read? Because you have a cool radio guy voice.
Here we go. I ask that the Congress declare that since the unprovoked and dastardly attack on Japan on Sunday, December the 7th, 1941, a state of war has existed between the United States and the Japanese Empire.
Who said that?
That's Roosevelt.
FDR,
Franklin
baby.
Delano Roosevelt.
FDR, baby.
But I think based on the way it's written, that reads that we attacked Japan. I think that should be the dastardly attack by Japan.
Yeah. I'm just reading what was.
Yes.
Oh, you
what
know
was
what?
provided to you.
Yes.
I'm going to be honest with you. I messed up right there. That should say by Japan.
All right,
Yes, I thought so, but
I
yes.
ask that the Congress declare that since the unprovoked and dastardly attack by Japan
That's it.
on Sunday, December the 7th, 1941, a state of war has existed between the United States and the Japanese Empire.
Sorry, Frankie.
Mic drop right there.
Discombobulate. That's what I was. I was discombobulated when I typed that.
Absolutely.
Confused or upset?
Let's back up to dastardly for just a second. I'll tell you a
Okay.
little story about when I was a kid.
love
I got the word.
Were things black and white? You talking about like black and white?
Well,
things?
it was right after
That's
I
what I'm
graduated from
picturing it.
LaGrange College. So I got the word dastard and the other word mixed up.
Yeah.
And so I was watching some cartoon, and they used the word dastardly, and I was like, I made myself not watch that cartoon for like 6 weeks, and and my mom was like, "This is your favorite cartoon. Why are you not watching it?" And I tried to explain it to her, and
Right.
and she had quite the laugh of my discombobulation over the word dastardly.
So if dastardly is cowardly, if someone is a coward, are they a dastard?
They are now.
Yeah. Like you dastard.
Can we start saying that?
Yes,
Dude, he's a dastard.
I
man.
am.
it's happening.
I don't know
He's
if
a
I.
dastard. Like, what'd you, like, yeah.
Listen, if you're listening and that's wrong,
Don't tell us.
I don't want to be right, so don't correct us. Okay,
He's a dastard.
don't be a dastard. All right,
That's
let's see
amazing.
here. So, dragoon,
Dragoon.
to compel by coercion, to force someone to do something they'd rather not.
That's a tough one.
Is that like,
Dragoon.
do we shorten dragoon to like drag? Like you drug me or I'm going to drag you there?
Hey,
Have we shortened dragoon?
You know, the English language is a funny,
Yeah.
fickle thing.
getting a nice word.
He's
Getting a
fickle.
little etymology lesson there. I
To
like
force
that.
someone to
Edamame,
do something they'd rather not.
Edamame?
Yeah, etymology.
Oh,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Probably so. I'm
I
sure
bet it
there's a
is.
Latin root word
Dragoon.
somewhere that came from.
Huh.
I like
So
that.
I just knew dragoon
catch.
from this little cartoon my kids watched. Jake and the Neverland Pirates. Dragoons were the coins that they collected.
I don't think so.
No,
Well, that is the thing. That's what they called them.
I think you're wrong.
No, they call them dragoons.
I don't think so.
no.
I think it's doubloons.
Yes.
Oh,
doubloons.
Yeah, I think that's
It is
doubloons.
doubloons.
Dragoons are
Gold
the ones
doubloons.
that fly and have the tail.
It was doubloons. God.
Doubloons.
Here's a good one. Effluvium.
Effluvium.
I know that word.
I do too.
I know that word used in a sentence that says disagreeable effluvium.
Disagreeable effluvium. If you know what that means, me and Skip also know what that means.
Yes.
So that's all I'm going to say. Gooch doesn't know what that means, what we just said.
It's a vapor. Something that smells bad.
A slight or invisible exhalation or vapor, especially on that is one that's disagreeable or foul smelling.
Ah.
Yes. So after Josh goes to Fiesta, he has disagreeable effluvium.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
So there's this organization that Skip and I are affiliated with that Adam's not. And we know about this word, and Adam doesn't know about this word.
Ah, okay.
We're going to hide that word.
We're going to go there.
It's the hidden word.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just leaving it at that.
Yeah.
If you know what we're talking about, you can let me and Skip know, but not
Not
Gooch.
Adam.
Not Adam.
No.
Esoteric. Understood, known by, or intended for a very few.
Such as effluvium.
Ah, yeah.
Like what just happened.
Yeah.
Requiring knowledge possessed by a select group.
Yeah.
So what we were just talking about
Was
was esoteric to
In
Skip
nature,
and I.
Yes.
Yes.
And right now, Gooch would like to eviscerate us because we keep talking about esoteric effluvium.
One of
Literally to
one of my
disavow.
biggest things that bothers me more than when there's people that know things I don't know. It gets all over me. I do a lot of stupid stuff because I just need to know. I just go.
Yeah.
They know. I don't know.
I get it.
That's what got me in most of the trouble I got into in high school. It's I never tried it. Let's try it.
Hey, y'all, watch this.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Might like it.
drink.
Hold my Mountain Dew.
Fatuous.
Fatuous.
Ineffectual, ineffective, incompetent, or weak.
Oh,
I'm honest. I'll be honest with you. I've never heard this word.
I like it though.
I think
Fatuous.
that's kind of like part of the word infatuation, because when you get infatuated with somebody, you get kind of weak in the knees, and
Right.
I think that probably all goes
Fatuous
together.
is infatuous. Okay. What about this? Flapdoodle. What you just said was flapdoodle, Skip. Nonsense.
I don't doubt it. We've got a lot of words for nonsense
Man.
this week.
Well, I saw it's because all the words for nonsense were fun to say.
Well, they're nonsensical words.
They were fun to say. That makes so much sense. It's fun to say.
Absolutely.
Flapdoodle.
Flapdoodle.
That's a great one.
You know, because English, you're talking about the English language being bizarre. We have one word that we use where other language, other cultures and things like that, they'll use. We
different
talk
word.
about the Greeks, right? I think 4 different words for the word love.
Yeah.
Because it's different types of love.
types of
So
love,
it communicates. So all these words for nonsense, is Codswallop a different type of nonsense than a flapdoodle?
I don't know. I didn't get that deep.
I bet it's
know?
all Boulder Dash.
I don't know. Well, it's just like an English language. Could you imagine coming over here and trying to learn English? Like I said, that's bad. And that could mean 9 different things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It could mean it's good. It could mean it's
Yeah.
bad. It could mean it's pretty.
Yeah.
It could mean it's. There's so many different things that
Right.
one word and then just voice inflection can change the meaning.
Well, even the difference is so how bad are we talking?
Yeah.
I got some bad news. Are you dying or
Did you fall
you got to
down?
work late this afternoon?
Yeah.
Yeah, bad news. You're dead.
Yeah.
Bad news.
Bad.
You're getting off 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very different, but we use the same word.
That's crazy. What
You know
about this word? Fortnight.
Fortnight.
Fortnight
I know this word.
means 2 weeks.
I did
And a
not know
fortnight means I'll see you in a fortnight in 2 weeks.
that. All right, I didn't know that.
Not to be confused with the video game.
I know all about that.
No, that's
You will
they-
start playing and be in.
They literally.
2
That's
weeks.
what it's because it's 2 weeks.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, it's just you're just in a big world and you're fighting each other.
So
You're building stuff.
building stuff for
So
2 weeks.
So I downloaded it because my kids play it. My middle daughter plays it, and I played it and it was fun for about 2 hours, and they got $80 out of me because I didn't want to play as a girl. So I bought an outfit and I bought another dude, and then
It's
I bought
a
a couple
skin.
dance
It's
moves.
a skin.
Skin,
It's
sorry.
not an
And I
outfit.
bought. Whatever. Judge
skin.
me if you want to. I spent $80 because I had to buy a skin.
Yeah.
And I bought this other dude, and then he had this cool sickle thing to kill people with, and I bought this whole package. They got money out of me.
Yep.
So it's all just to sell virtual stuff
Yeah, it's crazy. You buy dance moves. Some of these kids spend hundreds of dollars a month on it.
on dance moves.
Yeah. Anyways, Don't judge it because you would buy stuff too.
No, I'm just saying none of these kids would have survived the Oregon Trail.
No way.
That's all I'm saying.
No, you're right.
They'd have died of dysentery.
So, but the thing is none of that helps you win. There's no benefits to any of it. You just look cooler.
So you look cooler while you're getting killed by other people.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm cool with it. But like, so I played online once against like other people, and like it's no fun. So now if I ever play it, I just play by myself and build cool stuff and blow it up.
Yeah.
So can you download this to the Atari?
Okay, next word.
My Commodore.
Gadabout. Gadabout.
Gadabout?
A habitual pleasure seeker.
There's somebody that plays Fortnite a lot.
That's a gadabout. He's a
Gadabout. Habitual pleasure seeker. I've never heard this word.
I know a lot of gadabouts, though.
I do.
I do too.
Dang sure I do. What about this? Gimcrack.
Gimcrack.
A flimsy or poorly made but deceptively attractive. So a gimcrack, so it can be like maybe something made from China, brought over from China.
Right.
It's like,
Very nice looking.
Looks good, you know. Those shoes look just like Yeezys. But then you put them on and the sole falls off.
Yeah,
Right.
that would be a gimcrack.
they're-
Gimcrack. Gimcrack. Here's a great word. Haberdasher. It's a dealer in men's clothes.
I know a haberdasher.
We have a friend that's a haberdasher.
Mike Gooch, if
Mike
you're
Gooch.
listening.
No relation.
No relation.
No relation.
No relation to Adam Gooch. But he's a haberdasher. So it's funny because he's from Alabama and he lives in like Boston.
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 Why did you just say Boston?
Boston? I don't know. It just came out.
Baston. He lives in Baston.
Came out. Cockies. It just came out. And so he sells high-end suits at,
A store that we probably shouldn't say.
yeah, we're not going to say their name.
Yeah.
'Cause they're not sponsored, but we can be sponsored. Like, he
It
sells
can
like
be bought.
$2,000 and $3,000 suits, and he's from Alabama, which is so funny to me. But he's a haberdasher.
He is.
So is there a level of clothing that you have to? So like you guys, you got the sock dudes, right?
We're
Shout
haberdashers.
out.
We are.
You're haberdashers.
We are.
The definition literally says a dealer in men's clothing. So,
Yeah, so-
so I'm a
There you go,
haberdasher.
haberdasher. You sell men's underwear, clothing.
I'm changing my
Wait,
profile
ties?
on LinkedIn.
Well, here's the deal. According to Harry Potter, a sock is clothing.
That's
Can we
exactly-
all
Yes,
agree
absolutely,
on that?
Absolutely.
No, you lost
So-
me there.
That's because you haven't seen Lord of the Rings.
You missed all my jokes, Skip. so I'm.
It still
changing-
made sense though.
I just
It did.
changed. I just changed my LinkedIn profile. I'm a haberdasher.
No, haberdasher. That's the sock dudes.
So good.
Love that.
Hootenanny.
Hootenanny. Oh, we know that one.
An informal
I've been to
gathering.
some of these.
An informal gathering with folk music and sometimes dancing. No,
Speaking
ain't no
of green-
sometimes dancing.
No.
If there's a hootenanny,
Yeah.
you're dancing.
Yeah. Speaking of Green Hill,
Insolent.
No, let's back up to Hootenanny.
Okay, Hootenanny.
There's a it's a definite Southern saying
for sure.
that I have.
Is
been,
it a Southern saying?
Well, hang on. When you add in a few things, I've been to 5 goat ropings and a Hootenanny, and I've never seen something like that. That's a good old Southern
Colloquial.
colloquial comparative phrase there. So Hootenanny was used a
Hootenanny.
lot in Franklin County when I was.
I wonder
growing
where
up.
hootenanny. I wish that now I'm going to dig into this and like where did hootenanny come from? Like I'm going to have to.
I'm pretty sure it's Appalachian.
Do you think so?
Gotta be.
Got to be.
Gotta be. It's from West Virginia.
It's in the
man.
definition.
Mountain
I mean, it's in
Mama.
the dictionary.
Take me home.
Hootenanny's in the dictionary.
Country roads.
Have y'all watched those? I watched this documentary on the Appalachia people and Appalachian people in Appalachia that did the snake handling churches, like up in West Virginia, Kentucky, and up through there.
Scottsboro and
Yes, that's a little close to home up there, or Sand Mountain. Man, how interesting. These guys that have the rattlesnakes and stuff.
Right.
And I was watching it, and this guy, like, he's slinging this rattlesnake around and preaching, and like it bites him twice. He's like, "Okay, I'm not dying," and he's like passing out, turning blue. I'm like, "Listen, bro, like
nope.
that rattlesnake,
Yeah.
that copperhead will kill you."
Yeah. Speaking of charlatans,
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Really.
What about insolent?
insolent.
Insulting, caustic, disrespectful. Insolent.
I've met some insolent people in my life.
I've heard the term "you insolent fool."
Yeah.
quite a lot, I imagine.
That's a Disney term. What about this kerfuffle? Kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle.
Commotion, uproar, brouhaha. Kerfuffle.
Man.
There was a kerfuffle in the bathroom, and when he opened the door, it was an effluvious aroma.
It's amazing how many of these like circle back to other words we don't use.
What
Yeah.
about this? Lanyap. Lanyap. You ever heard that one? I've actually heard that one.
I've heard that
It
one
means
a
a
lot.
little something extra.
Little
Little something for free, a bonus. Little lanyap.
A little shout out to Gigi.
Yeah. Lanyap. Lick penny. Something that uses up money.
Ah.
So are my kids lick pennies?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Based on that definition, absolutely.
Does that make us all lummoxes?
Yeah. A clumsy or stupid person, a lummox.
Lummox.
You lummox. Malarkey.
More nonsense.
Oh, I know malarkey.
Yeah.
Another nonsense word.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hogwash. Rubbish.
Yeah, it's malarkey.
Malarkey. Moxie. I hadn't heard that in a while.
I feel like we should be, when you hear that word, you should be watching like an old 30s gangster movie. He's got a lot of moxie.
It's got a lot of moxie.
Yeah.
Force of character, determination, or nerve. Moxie. This is like is this a Josh Kelly or no? Oh, wait.
This is the
Natter to talk aimlessly, often at length. So
the goal of the guy pod.
today on the Guy Pod.
He's
back in Boston, y'all.
Today on the Guy Pod. Okay. Today on the Guy Pod, there's a lot of natter.
Yeah. It's like chatter about nothing, so it's
Yes.
natter.
I like that.
Wow. Yeah.
Those are mind blowing. Neophyte. Person who is new to a subject, skill, or belief.
I've heard that one a lot.
The only time I ever heard it was like on TVs, like on movies.
Neophyte.
Like on, remember Conan the Destroyer? Conan the Destroyer? The Neophytes?
Neophyte?
Yes.
Yep.
God, what a great movie.
Yeah, it was.
Man, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. Nugatory.
Yeah, what that little piece of trivia was.
Nugatory. Of no value or importance.
Nugatory.
Skip your existence is nugatory.
I really like this next one.
I can't even say it. A bombulate.
A bombulate. Nothing to do with the previous president.
Obambulate. A bombulate means to walk around, walk about. Walkabout.
It's a walkabout.
That's not a knife.
That's a knife.
That's the best scene of that whole movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there any scene you remember other than
That's
that
the
one?
only scene anybody remembers.
I remember the scene where he walks across the people's hands at the end.
Yeah.
And then the part where he comes out of the bathroom and says, I figured out what that was for. You know,
Yeah.
but she's like, he's got a knife. He said he gets tickled. He said, that's not a knife.
It's just a knife.
This is a knife.
Oh, Crocodile Dundee.
Well, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch that tonight.
Yeah, it's a very good movie.
God, I watched Forrest Gump.
Been a while.
So my wife and I were in Savannah, Georgia 2 or 3 months ago. And we were there, and I was like, Forrest Gump, a lot of that was filmed there. And I was like, we're watching Forrest Gump tonight. And I watched it, and I forgot so many cool things
yeah.
about that movie. Like, I think it was better this time watching it 12, 15 years later than it was like the first 20 times I've seen it.
Right.
There were so many things I missed. So go back
Great
and watch
movie.
Forrest Gump.
Great movie. Written by a guy from Alabama, by the way.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Based on the novel written by a guy from Alabama.
Huh.
Ostentatious. Characterized by vulgar or pretentious display. Designed to impress or attract notice.
Is this
Ostentatious.
the same thing as peacocking?
Absolutely the same thing as peacocking. Palooka. A stupid, uncouth person.
Uncouth.
That's a good
Uncouth
word.
is a
That's
good
what
word.
we were at the art gallery the other night. We
Yes,
were
we
palookas.
were.
You are uncouth.
We were palookas at the art gallery.
This word was so amazing. I don't know if it's real or not, but the internet said it was. Phantasmagoria. Say that. Phantasmagoria.
Phantasmagoria.
A dreamlike state featuring both real and imagined elements. Phantasmagoria. P-H-A-N-T-A.
Is that like virtual reality?
I don't know what it is.
In some of those Arcadian settings, I found myself in Phantasmagoria based on the...
Have you ever heard that word before?
I have.
I have
You
not.
had?
Yeah.
You just made that up. No, you didn't.
no.
You're a charlatan.
I have a plethora of knowledge.
I've heard plethora.
I think a lot of people use that one.
That's
That's
Anybody-
large or excessive amount.
Anybody that's seen the movie Three Amigos knows about the word plethora.
plethora.
Yeah.
Would you say I have a plethora?
Pontificate. To speak in a pompous, arrogant, or dogmatic manner.
Yeah.
Pontificate.
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 We did not
Yes.
do that at the art gallery.
Yes.
Pontificate.
I've heard this. So the last two, plethora and pontificate, I've heard those used.
I think that's preposterous that you've heard that.
That's a pretty common word.
That's pretty... Yeah, that's... It can be underused,
Here's
but
the thing. When's the last time you said preposterous?
Well, the fact that
In
you
your
think it's an
normal.
uncommon word is preposterous.
Preposterous.
You don't. Nobody says preposterous in a normal setting.
Hey, don't get pugnacious on us.
Pugnacious. Skip Nichols is pugnacious. Like, there needs to be a picture of Skip in the dictionary beside pugnacious. It means eager or quick to argue, quarrel, or fight.
Yeah.
Skip's
Pugnacious.
pugnacious.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This was my this
I'm
next
very
word.
pusillanimous.
So this word, pusillanimous, pusillanimous, pusillanimous means timid or cowardly. I think
Now I get it.
I think that got shortened to the pusi part. They left off pusillanimous, and that's where that came from. Somebody calls somebody they're saying they're cowardly.
Probably developed by some rapscallion.
So
Yeah.
pusillanimous
Pusillanimous.
means cowardly or timid. So if somebody says that, they just shortened it.
Yeah.
I love how this started out as me and Gooch were going to make sentences, and it turned into weird word uno.
I'm pretty.
Where we just use the next
If I
one.
can be fair, now that we've made it to pusillanimous, I'm kind of glad we're not making sentences.
I am too.
Kind of glad this shifted.
Rapscallion, a mischievous person. That's a good word.
That is a good word.
Skinflint, a person who spends as little money as possible. A miser. Adam Gooch is a skinflint.
Don't mistake it for. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. It's not a.
That's a weird word.
Yeah.
Skullduggery.
It's not a skin.
Skullduggery.
Very different from a
Underhanded and unscrupulous behavior. Trickery.
See, I would have thought that had something to do with like archaeology.
Yeah.
Skullduggery.
I dug a yeah. Skullduggery.
Smashing. Smashing. Impressive, marvelous, or very effective. Austin Powers says smashing
He
a lot.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does, baby.
Yeah, smashing.
Smashing. This is a good word. Sockdolager. Something that settles a matter, a decisive blow or answer. Like, I know you are, but what am I? Boom.
That's it.
Mic
I
drop.
love your description.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Mike Bump.
Mic bump. Superfluous.
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 Superfluous. Superfluous.
Superfluous.
Superfluous.
This list has been superfluous.
Superfluous. I can't say it. Superfluous.
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 Give it up.
Superfluous. More than enough. Unnecessary. Redundant. Turpitude. Depravity. Wickedness.
You know, that's one of the things.
Moral turpitude.
That's one of the things in the state of Alabama. If you have a professional license of any kind, most often there is a moral turpitude
yeah.
clause in there.
Absolutely.
That could cause you to, boom, lose your license.
Yep. Winkle.
I did that right before we started.
As a verb, to pry out or extract something. So, gotta winkle my. So let's use that in a word. Let's use that in a sentence. I'll go first.
To pry out or extract something.
Well, let's just say that Winkle World place that used to be in Sheffield has got a whole new meaning now.
To pry out or extract something. So the dentist winkled my tooth.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I can't say the sentence that's in my head for the fact that we would lose our family rating.
Winkle. Yeah,
Winkle.
I mean,
Know what I mean?
yeah, to extract something.
Nod, nod.
Yeah, I don't know.
I had to winkle my underwear out of the drawer because it was so full. I had to winkle my pants off because I was so fat.
To extract.
I had to winkle myself out of the smart car.
Yeah. Winkle.
Wool gathering, idle daydreaming.
Ah.
Kind of like what we're doing right now.
Now, see, that just sounds like a job. I mean, it sounds like you're shearing sheep somewhere.
Yeah, gathering wool.
So here's a great word, zephyr. I had no idea what zephyr meant. It means a light, gentle breeze.
A zephyr.
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 You know, speaking of zephyr, what about all the Area 51 crap that's going on?
Huh?
People storming
What does that have?
Zephyr, you know. Area 51, aliens, Zephyr.
What does that have to do with a
You talking about a
zephyr?
Zeppelin?
Same thing. It's a synonym.
No.
Well,
it's not.
whatever.
A light breeze and a blimp are two different things.
Well, Zephyr, Zeppelin, tomato.
The sad part is you just read the definition of Zephyr.
Nobody
and still
says
thought it was a Zeppelin.
Nobody says tomato.
It made me think of the Air 51. So if you
Zephyr.
So evidently there's this group of people in the U.S. that are planning to storm Area 51 next month.
September 20th.
20th, yes.
So this has fascinated me.
It's the day before the big party, so...
This has fascinated me so much that I would like to go and just watch them storm Area 51.
You know, the sad part is there are people that have already... I don't know if y'all are familiar with this, but there's this app out that a lot of restaurants and places like that use to schedule their employees. It's called Hot Schedules. Mm-hmm. And Hot Schedules reported a huge spike. And this is not the fake news segment, by the way. They said there was a huge spike in people actually asking off for that day.
Oh, my gosh.
In the food service industry.
I love it.
To go and storm Area 51.
Well, so, the way this started, so there's a kid out in California, Matty Roberts. Initially, when all this broke, he did it as a joke, so he wasn't actually intending. But then all the kooks came out, right, and decided to start making it a legit thing. So, he wouldn't even release his identity because he got all scared that, the FBI was going to come storm his house. And
yeah, because this is literally how you die.
For sure.
So, Area 51, who knows what it is? I had a top secret security clearance when I was in the Army, and there's no way it's like 5,000 levels above that. Whatever they have there, realistically, it's probably where they test new stuff.
I think they have Shrek 5 on DVD there.
If we're being honest, there's a reason why you can't go see it.
Right.
But so the people that work there are flown in from Las Vegas every day.
Every day.
And
Every
it's
day.
really cool. Which makes me want to go in there.
So, Area 51, the thing that kind of made it get started, do you know Bob Lazar? You know his story? He's the guy that basically broke Area 51 to the public.
That it even existed.
Yeah, back in the 80s, he came out saying he worked there and that he had basically been hired to reverse engineer alien technology for the U.S. government. That was his job. That they have alien spacecraft, and it was his job to reverse engineer to figure out how we can have that technology. So that's basically how Area 51 even people found out it was there. And the government denied it for years. Said it didn't exist. I think 2013, the government finally came out and yeah, it exists.
And so in 40 years, the best we've got out of this is we get all of our music on a phone.
Yeah, exactly.
This makes me want to run for president single-handedly. Just the only reason is just to see what's in there.
Yeah.
I wonder if do you
Like
think
the
Trump,
Book of Secrets kind of
do you
thing.
think Trump gets to go in there?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't let Trump in there.
Definitely not.
No.
He'd be tweeting.
It would be on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I wonder if there's certain things like that. It's just President. Nah, you're good, bro.
Yeah. Well, because he could only be there for 4 years, and then he's gone. Now, so these are the people
But what other secrets do they have, though? I mean, what?
I don't know. I want to know.
The president. What do they know? What do they know that we don't know? Besides, the football codes and all that.
Right.
I don't know.
It's interesting, because now, so even going, I'll get it out there. I think there's aliens out there. I think it's a real thing. I think they exist.
I think that we're the only life forms in the vast solar system's arrogant.
Right.
Very arrogant.
So Lazar started back in the 80s, right? I don't know when it broke, 86, something like that. He started talking about this element that basically fueled alien spacecraft. And he was talking about the atomic numbers for it and all this. And all these people were saying he was crazy. Well, now we've actually element 115 is what it's called. And now they've actually created that element. And it's a nuclear, so
it's like a nuclear fuel.
Basically. Now, they can't recreate it in the levels that they claim it requires for propulsion. But yes, we can now create whatever that fuel is. And it's a tiny nuclear reactor in an atom.
Is that kind of like the Gauntlet Stones?
Basically, yeah.
Like Thor?
No.
Oh.
Thanos.
But that
Thanos.
That element is what allows them to overcome the laws of physics. That's how they can travel. It's like that, such a high rate of speed. But Bob Lazar, Area 51, he's responsible for it. And like so the whole thing broke with Lazar. Like it's been a big thing for a long time. He kind of like went away. Well, several months ago, which I think is what led to this Matty Roberts guy kind of bringing Area 51 back, because on a different podcast that's very popular that I'm not going to say because he didn't pay us to, a very popular podcast host had Bob Lazar back on his podcast back in June.
That's cool.
And he basically started retelling a lot of this stuff. And a lot of the things, Lazar told stories back in the 80s that in order for you to get into Area 51, into certain places, they had these machines that basically had like needles, and like you put your hand on, way before like palm scanners and all that kind of stuff existed, and that it had like needle, like not like poke you needle, but like touch, and like it would like
those little
read.
games that you put on your face.
Yeah. And basically he claimed that like it read that your bone density is like a fingerprint. So like everybody's bone density is different. So it didn't even read fingerprints. It read bone density. And he's like, oh, it exists. And then for years, people were like, no way. Like, that never happened. Like, we've never had that, And then just in the last few years, it's come out that those things actually existed and that we do have them. There's pictures of them. And, like, again, Lazar was proven right. Like, yeah, that was the thing.
That's cool.
So we're pretty close to Men in Black here.
I think so, yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, but I really would like to see some nerds try to storm it.
If I was an alien and I came here and I saw the crazy stuff that goes on here, I probably would go, skirt.
Yeah, pull over and watch it.
So I'll have to admit, so they were talking about, when I went to look at the group, Naruto running. Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
So evidently that's an anime thing where you throw your hands behind you and run with your head out in front of you.
Yeah.
And they were saying that you can run like that and the guns wouldn't hit you. And so my favorite thing is somebody somewhere had to explain that to like a 4-star general of what that meant.
Yeah.
Like that's on a PowerPoint somewhere, because they're having to take this serious.
For sure.
You have to take this serious if that's your department and you're like, hey, this is our job to guard this. And you have, it's up to what, 500,000 people now?
Here's the deal.
No, it's like million. It's like 2 million.
They're claiming, that they can't get all of us. They've already tested nuclear weapons out there. Okay? And not to be insensitive, it's been a few years, but Japan is living proof that you can get pretty much all of them at once.
Oh, yeah.
Too soon.
No question. Yeah.
Why,
you can't get us all. No, we can.
Yeah, no, they can get you all. So I'm gonna tell you something. If I'm the soldier that it's my job to work that
day
turret gun or whatever you call it on that wall on that side that day,
I'm going for the high score.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna make sure that I am not sick that week. I'm working.
Overtime.
I'm coming in.
Yeah.
So we were in Hawaii a couple of years ago, and we went up to the top of this volcano and rode bikes down. It was really cool. And at the top of it is where our space defense system was. Like, this is where all of the Star Wars, this is where it's at. They've got
that's Space Force.
Soon to be in Huntsville.
So they have a satellite there that can see something the size of a basketball, like thousands of miles above the Earth's surface, like it's really crazy. So there was 3 sets of fences, and so our tour guide said you can walk up to this fence, and it said all the things, like he said if you get to the next fence, he said you'll get a warning shot and a siren goes off. He said if you get over the next fence, he said you won't make it 2 feet. He said they will shoot you. He said they will shoot you. Don't ask questions.
Yeah.
But there's 3 layers of fences. He said you cannot get through. He said it's no joke.
Well, here's what I think is going to happen. I don't think they'll deploy nuclear weapons on them. That was kind of a joke. But I do think that they do have these truck-mounted guns that emit a radiant beam that will cause you no permanent damage, but it will make you feel like you're on fire. And they activate that and shoot it, and they tested it for crowd control.
I would do that to you.
And it literally activates some stuff under the skin that responds just like you're on fire. So I think that's what they'll end up doing. I think they'll aim that at the front of the gate and all the way around and just flip the switch.
Well, it's fun. Did you know there's not fencing around Area 51?
There's not?
Mm-mm. I mean, it's just in the middle of the desert, so you got to hike 40 miles or however long it is, like through the desert to get there. So, like
on a horse with no name.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's no fence around Area 51.
You know what would be really cool? They ought to just show up and have some tents and stuff out there and have like waters and hot dogs and try to recruit a bunch of people.
So now that's what. So like CNN, once this dude finally let his like identity out, and he was like, "Sorry guys, I was just kidding," like begging the FBI basically not to storm his house. He's now, because they were like, "Well, what are you going to do? You've got this influence now. There's 2 million people." So he's now flipped it. He's a genius, maybe. He's now setting up basically like an EDM music festival out in the desert, and like he's getting all these sponsors so that all these people that come, it's like an alien EDM music festival, and now it's going to be this big like.
It's going to be like that one scene in the movie Contact.
Yeah.
Is that like the Fry? It's going to be like the Fry Music Festival.
Yeah. Fire.
Fire. Yeah.
Fry.
The next Netflix documentary.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, it is. So now he's tried to flip it, and he wants it to be a music festival now.
Good for you. I
That's
love
cool.
capitalism.
God bless America.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So now we'll see.
I just want to go. I want to go.
Yeah. But they're out there. We're not alone.
I don't think we are either. So now for fake news, since we've dealt with some real news.
Hey, also, can I say this, though? I think that the Russians already have aliens, and I think that they all are. Have you ever seen how weird they are? All the people in Russia are.
I've never been to Russia.
I've never.
Just get on the internets. Russians are like the Florida of all of
the Florida
countries.
man.
They're like the Florida of countries.
Yeah.
They have pet bears.
Oh, goodness. So for those of you that don't know the rules,
go
maybe
fake
this
news.
is the first time you've listened to the Guy Pod and probably going to be your last. At the end of each episode of the Guy Pod, we play a little game called Fake News where I pick out 3 stories hot off the presses in today's news. And we decide, or we let Josh and Adam decide which ones are new, or which ones are actually real news and which ones are fake news. One of the 3 will be a new actual news story. The other 2 will be a fake news story. And only 1 out of Florida this week. So,
And before we get started, we do have to say we're still perfect.
Batting 1,000.
They have a perfect record for picking out
Yee.
the real story.
Yep.
It's because we're not charlatans.
You're not
we're-
fake. You're not fake.
Let me find a word for
But
it.
this is
Skip's trying to bamboozle us.
this is
He's
a bunch
trying.
of
With
this is a
balderdash.
bunch of kerfluffle,
Yeah.
bunch of commotion, bunch of nonsense. All right, story number 1. Are we ready to play?
I'm
Let's
ready.
do
Ready
it.
to play?
Let's go. Let's
Okay.
go.
This one's out of Hollywood, California.
Oof.
Union best boys go on strike, leaving the next season of The Bachelorette in limbo. Executive producer Elin Gale, Warner Brothers Television, ABC have announced that due to failed contract negotiations with the IBEW, which represents the electrical workers on the set of The Bachelorette, that the series may come to an abrupt halt. That is
What's a busboy got to do with that?
best boy. That's what they call the guy that works with the electricians
Okay.
on a TV show.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
Read that again.
So it's
I'm still stuck on busboys and what they had to do with electrical workers local.
Okay, union best boys go on strike, leaving the next season of The Bachelorette in limbo. In the first sentence of the story,
Okay. All right, I got it.
you got it. Okay.
okay.
Second one is out of New York, New York. And this one kind of surprised me. Out of NHL headquarters, especially since we actually talked some about hockey.
We
this time.
did. Yeah.
NHL headquarters announces that the Stanley Cup will be renamed the Gretzky Cup after the 2022 season. The Stanley Cup, named after Lord Stanley of Preston, is the championship trophy awarded annually to the NHL playoff winner. Having been commissioned in 1892, it is the oldest existing trophy to be awarded to a professional sports franchise. The NHL says that 130 years is long enough and will be renaming the trophy in honor of the 20th century hockey great Wayne Gretzky.
It's never happened.
That's never happening.
So
No.
that's the
I'm
second
out.
one.
I'm out.
We're
on
done with that one. Keep
Okay.
reading.
So third one, Altamonte Springs, Florida. Florida company offering alien abduction insurance has sold nearly 6,000 policies. Looking for a big insurance payout? Try getting abducted by aliens. At least that's what one Florida company is telling its customers. St. Lawrence Agency, also known as the UFO Abduction Insurance Company, offers a very specific type of policy for just $19.95. You can protect yourself against extraterrestrial encounters.
That's real.
That could happen.
That's definitely real.
But I'm gonna tell you, man. I think the Union Best Boys going on strike. That's a real thing. I'm going with the Best Boys, but I could see the UFO. I could see the abduction insurance happening too. I'm going with Best Boy. But if you want to go UFO,
I'm going UFOs. I think the UFOs are the
is
real
this
one.
a split decision? Are we going? Can we do this?
You can do this.
So I'm going Best Boy. You're going UFO.
I'm going UFOs. I think that's the real story. Yeah.
Okay.
Would you be surprised if both of you had lost this week?
I would be surprised, yes.
Shut up.
The actual story is Florida company offering alien abduction insurance and sold nearly 6,000 policies.
Aha! See? Looking.
That's the real story.
That's the real
They're out
story.
there. So,
For $19.95, it includes $10 million in coverage. It was invented by Mike St. Lawrence, who describes himself as being in the humor business, according to Florida's WFLA News. The success behind his alien policy is very real. He sold nearly 6,000 plans since first launching his company in 1987. Policy offers plenty of absurd benefits for would-be abductees, including psychiatric care, sarcasm coverage, and double identity coverage. For just $5 more, customers can also get a paper certificate as evidence of their purchase. Policyholders should read the fine print before they buy, though. In the event of an abduction, the plan's $10 million coverage pays out at a rate of $1 yearly for 10 million years. St. Lawrence told WFLA he's only paid out 2 policies since launching his business, one of which involved a customer who submitted Polaroid photos of what they claimed were aliens. Strangely enough, the St. Lawrence Agency isn't the only company that offers abduction insurance. A 2000 article in the Daily Telegraph reported on Grip, a British company that claimed to have sold more than 37,000 alien-based policies. Another English broker called Goodfellow, Rebecca Ingram Pearson, also offered abduction insurance in the 1990s, but later discontinued its plan after the UFO religious cult Heaven's Gate purchased a number of policies for its members. So, Mr. Gooch is still
perfect.
Still batting 1,000.
You should have listened to me. You went against me.
Well, I just could see that happening.
And JK is now at 80%.
I didn't think people would actually. I mean, I could see. I said that I thought people would
Knowing
actually
that,
do that.
if the Citadel Insurance Group doesn't start offering abduction insurance, you're not doing it right.
Would that not be awesome?
Jeez,
I don't think our mothership has that type of policy.
we could make it up like that guy.
I was going to say $1 a year should you be abducted.
My luck, somebody would actually get abducted, and then I would have to pay out on it.
They would
$1
storm
a year.
Area 51, and then you're...
Yeah, I'd misspell something and leave out a comma.
and writing a $10 million check out of JK's personal checking account. So, how's it feel to be defeated?
God, I'm gonna tell you something.
It was close, though. I mean, that could have been real.
I'm the type of person like winning, losing.
Yeah.
Hurts me. Like I don't like losing more than I like winning. If that makes sense.
For sure. Yeah.
That bothers me.
Well, sorry, I won.
It's going to be okay.
Jeez.
Rub a little dirt on it.
I'm
Get you some of that salve you bought from your charlatan.
I'm hurting.
Rub it on it.
I'm hurting right now. This bothers me. God. You got me, Skip.
We got you. Got him.
Got him.
You got me.
Well,
Awesome.
I feel vindicated.
So this podcast went a different direction than I thought it was going to.
It really did.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad about it.
No,
We talked about a lot of different things.
dude.
We went from
It's kind of educational today.
we went from where did we start at?
I'm not sure.
Jeez, abominable.
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 And
To-
ended with not Zephyrs.
Not Zephyrs.
God, Zeppelins.
And
Zephyrs.
alien abduction
I
insurance.
kind of think we started with uterus piercings, but that's
That's kind of where it really started.
It really did.
that's when the ball started rolling.
God, when he said he said she was getting her uterus pierced, Timmy. When she said that, I died. I lost it. after he called it a gazebo, like it almost like wasn't
She's in
fair.
that gazebo getting her uterus pierced.
There's a gazebo in between us, and I was there getting a tat. I had a big gazebo in between us, and she's getting her uterus pierced.
Well, if you've been injured having your uterus pierced, maybe some alien abduction insurance is in your future.
So last week it was breast milk squirt. What do we call it?
Boob squirt.
Boob squirt.
Fight Club and boob squirts.
And then uterus pierced this week.
Uterus pierced and alien abduction.
So I've had so many people come up to me and be like, "You didn't know that?" I was like, "No, I didn't know that." Like, and I should have. And so I went straight home and talked to her wife. She's like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "That's information I needed."
Yeah, like how did we have double water guns and I didn't know this?
Because
we would have played with them.
Because we would have. That's why my wife and your wife did not tell us about it.
You just answered your own question.
Because we would have YouTubed it.
The light bulb just went off. That's why she didn't tell me.
I'd have gone Facebook Live.
Yeah, guys, watch this.
Hey, Josh Kelly coming at you live. Watch this. I don't know if it makes that noise or not.
You can't see the gun, but you can at least see the shot.
Yes.
I feel like it would make that noise.
So you would have winkled it.
I would have winkled it.
You would have winkled the boob squirt.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness. So
guys. Hey, also real quick, if you have a business and have any interest whatsoever in being a sponsor on this fine podcast, shoot us an email.
Absolutely.
TheRealGuyPod@gmail.com.
That's it.
We are opening up for sponsors for 2020.
Yep.
Right now, as we're recording and get everything ready. So if you have any interest in that, shoot us an email out to us, and we'll get you some info back.
Just winkle that message to us via our Gmail address, or you can hit us up direct message on Facebook. That's all for this week, guys and gals.
Hang on a second. You didn't use that word right. Winkle is to pry out or extract something.
Pry it out and get it to us. Whatever.
All right, let's end this.
That is all for this week, folks. Thanks for listening in.
And don't forget to follow us on Facebook at The Guy Pod and subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube, or you can listen to us directly at www.theguypod.com.
And like Josh said, if you want to email us, you can email us at therealguypod@gmail.com. That's therealguypod@gmail.com. So that's it for this episode of The Guy Pod. So for Josh Kelly and Skip Nichols, I'm Adam Gooch. And remember,
when you're in over your head,
the first thing to do is close your mouth.